Framing, day 4. Walls on the lower level have been built. They're up. You can see a lot of braces hanging around. All these angle braces over here. These are everywhere in the job right now. This is to get all the walls straight up nice and plumb and lined up straight. We've gone through the whole job to get the walls nice and vertical and horizontal and so everything's square. So once all the joists up top are locked in, then we can take these out. This little post and beam group you see right up on my right, there's a beam that runs right through there. That's a midpoint load for the I-joist you see above. So they're going to bear from the outside. They'll get some bearing on this midpoint, and then they go all the way back to the far wall for bearing again. We're using an 11 7/8 tall I-joist. They make them 9.5. They'll go much higher depending on what you need, but 11 7/8 is a good number for us residentially. In that 11 7/8 size group, there's an even different series of strengths. So we've upsized our I-joist strength more than we need just to have a more sturdy, stronger floor. These are the Holddowns. We saw the bolts coming up out of the concrete before. Now they're anchored to the wall in 14 different locations for this particular job. So to stop uplift in case, I guess, the tornado from Kansas comes and tries to pick the house up, this will keep it in place. Windows are framed. This is typical for the windows throughout the house. There's 3 windows in this wall. These are all marked by us. These are 4 feet wide, 7 feet tall. You can see a continuous header that goes across the windows, and that'll pick up the load from the floor above. That protects the windows. There's 4 2x6s between the windows here, just to pick up extra load issues. At the top, you'll see 2 2x6s running horizontally, and that's called the double top plate. First one holds the wall in place, the second one locks them all together. So that's what's going on around the top, that's the doubles.